Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action, and man, these are some brave Skaven. I'll tell you what, the Skaven players taking on the Vampire Coast, definitely a pretty uphill matchup, so let's go ahead and take a look at the army compositions. Lord Skrulk leading the way, then we've got, looks like 5 clan rats with shields. Yeah, holy cow. And then we've got, what, 3 clan rat spears and shields, 4 Plague Claw catapults, and 1 Warp Lightning cannon, so very heavy on the artillery, and 4 Slave Slingers up front. For the Vampire Coast, 2 Vanguard deployed Death Runners as well. For the Skaven in the back, can't forget about them. For the Vampire Coast, we've got Silostra Direfin leading the way. Very risky to bring an Ethereal Lord against the Skaven. They have a lot of magic damage, but to help spread that out, we've got a couple units of Sirens as well. There's plenty of zombies getting pounded here. Morngul Haunter and some Night Terrors, the Regiment of Renowned Mornguls, with their bonus versus infantry. Should be pretty decent in this matchup. Also got the Shade Wraith Gunners in the back, and Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mobs, the Black Spot, more handgunners here. So a pretty decent Vampire Coast army. I do, again, question the use of the Ethereal units against the Skaven quite a bit. Although this particular build doesn't have too much magic damage, the Warp Lightning Cannon plus Lord Skrulk are 2 very good, important sources of magic damage. Moreover, the Skaven artillery here, you can see the Plague Claw catapult, despite the fact that it actually does do magic damage. For some reason I was thinking the Plague Claw catapult didn't. Okay, so those will absolutely pound out those Sirens. You can see they're doing a ton of damage already, setting those Sirens to crumbling with the effects and everything. So yeah, very rough stuff to bring ethereal units against the Skaven. Would definitely not recommend, but if you can stabilize the Vampire Coast player, if they can stabilize these Sirens, get them to stop crumbling, they can be very, very useful in providing an extra source of terror. Speaking of terror, the Morngul's charging in here, the Haunter taking a few Warp Lightning Cannon shots to the back, but he is just getting in here and making mayhem in the back, along with the Haunters. But that being said, they don't have too much armor, only 40 armor, and only 34 melee defense as well, means that this big Skaven blob with all these models, especially the Clan Rat Spears, actually will be able to do okay here. And oh man, look at that brave little Skaven, giving them the stick. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, all across the board you can see just pure anarchy. We've got some rotting Prometheans summoned up in the front here, and I believe there were maybe some reserve Death Runners that were going to come in. Nope, not yet. 2 Death Runners still running in the back here. Meanwhile, the artillery pieces continuing to pound away. The Vampire Coast player has not been able to get back to the artillery pieces. Silostra did use her summon here of the damned Knights Errant, but unfortunately didn't quite get past these clan rats and get into this back. You can see the players trying to just force their way through these clan rats here, but they're doing a great job at least standing in the way here and delaying these Knights Errant for a little while. Meanwhile, Silostra is going to be singing her songs. But in the back line, these Death Runners have started to drag down some high-value targets. Those Shade Wraith Gunners are offline. The Black Spot are also going to get caught up by Death Runners here. And this is a very favorable engagement for these Death Runners. The Black Spot, a very expensive unit, and although they're not necessarily armored like the Death Runners are meant to take out, still, Death Runners clearly superior stats. We'll be able to set them crumbling. Now running over to this other unit of zombie handgunners. Meanwhile, if we take an overarching look, you can see that the Skaven force is definitely having some problems with terror. A lot of forces just being continuously terrified away and brought back, but these Regiment of Renowned Mornguls, the Night Haunters, are pretty much down, and Lord Skrulk's also fighting in here as well against the, oh man, he just gets chucked by the Haunter there. But yeah, he should be able to do okay. He's got some magic damage, got some decent effects going, and the Contaminate from his attack will also help set this boy to crumbling here. So the Morngul Haunter, with the Potion of Strength active, up to 588 total weapon strength, still taking those Sling Stones, and the relentless fire from that Warp Lightning Cannon still online, despite the fact these angry crabs are pounding out with the artillery crew here. So yeah, very unfortunate situation for these poor little Skaven, but plenty of regrouping forces in the back, still very even in terms of the balance of power. The zombies are starting to get worn down. These Sirens are just about finished here, and the zombie gunners in the back line have been chewed up by Skaven infantry as well, so definitely looking pretty good. The Skaven do have a relatively commanding surround here, with some artillery pieces still online. Looks like 2 Plague Claw catapults still fighting here. Some summon zombies in the center, but yeah, Clan Rats will actually trade reasonably effectively against the zombies, especially the polearms, And with the support of the Plague Claw Catapult helping to debuff the leadership and send these guys perhaps into crumbling, and even just doing the damage of the Plague Claw Catapult, still very good stuff. You can see Skrolkin here with the taunt on him from that fleet captain there. Gonna have to be careful. Definitely with the taunt active, he might get gooned, but at the same time, Skrolk does magic damage, so Silostra taking a very risky dive, going after Lord Skrolk directly. Of course, he does magic damage, so he will be able to do quite a bit of damage to her if he can get through her melee defense. Let's see, she's only 35, so yeah, Skrolk, even with the debuff to melee defense, should be able to get in here. That being said, this fleet captain's also supporting this engagement, so it's a little bit of give and take here. Looks like we do have some summoned clan rats as well, so definitely some support for both sides, but Skrolk, since his faction obviously can rout rather than crumble, is going to try and scurry away a little bit here. It looks like Invocation of Heck going down on Silostra as she pursues there, and a little bit of friendly fire from that Skaven Plague Claw Catapult, but hey, they're just Skaven, right? They're just clan rats, right? That's perfectly acceptable. Oh no, wait, there's actually Death Runners in there. Maybe it's not so good, but at the same time, I mean, still Skaven. Yeah, you can see zombies over here crumbling away. This Plague Claw Catapult, the crew managed to rally, come back, and remount the artillery piece, and this is going to be an issue. The Vampire Coast, despite the fact looks like the balance of power tipping pretty badly for them at this point, they really just can't occupy all these different ranged units at the same time. So, you know, these two artillery pieces over here, one of them is occupied, one of them still online. Again, these guys are back online. This Tide of Skuld here is standing on top of this Plague Claw Catapult, meaning it can't come back from rout, but at the same time, they're just getting peppered from all sides by these Skaven Slave Slingers. So, at the end, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a pitched engagement here. Lord Skrolk took a ton of damage, but he did manage to escape the clutches of the mean Ghost Lady. And now she's just going to have to fight it out with these Death Runners here. And her area of attack, I should say, has a pretty wide area of effect there. But there's just so many Skaven unit models at this point that it's going to be pretty unlikely that she's going to be able to come back, especially with the Tide of Skuld now getting collapsed on by clan rats here and crumbled away by sling stones and various other things here. So yeah, brave little Skaven able to pretty much pull out a victory here, and who would have thought? It's definitely a very tough matchup. I do think that there were some very questionable picks from the Vampire Coast. Certainly would definitely not ever recommend bringing ethereal units against the Skaven. The Terror obviously is good on paper, but the magic damage that the Skaven can bring to the table between these Warp Lightning Cannons and oh man, these guys are still chilling. What are you guys doing here? The crew's all left. Anyway, the Warp Lightning Cannons, the Plague Claw Catapult, Skrolk himself doing magic damage both in melee and with the Liber Bubonicus, which I did not catch, but he did cast that on Silostra, obviously. She's up to her healing cap now, having taken a ton of damage, and a lot of that did come from the Liber Bubonicus. Still, she was able to stay alive through it, so I guess that kind of shows it's not 100% going to be a guarantee to kill Silostra, but at the same time, again, ethereal units, just not going to be the best in this particular matchup. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be it, though. Silostra diving back in, getting hit by all the sling stones as these Death Runners help clean up the rest of the zombies and the heroic units for the Vampire Coast here. So, yeah. Ooh, nice backflip kick to the head there for the Fleet Captain. And both units still online for the time being, but we'll fast forward a little bit as Silostra and her Captain make their last stand here. Captain goes down, and then Silostra goes down, and that's going to be victory for the Ratmen. So very well played to Caleb the Nomad. Thanks for submitting that one. Well played to the Dawn as well. Again, pretty questionable picks with the ethereal units. I would definitely say the Shade Wraith Gunners, the two Syrenes, and Silostra. I would leave all of them at home. Silostra, maybe you could get away with if you put her up on the crab, but just on foot like that, I definitely would not recommend. She did okay, but all things considered, the ethereal units, just very risky here. You can see the Plague Claw Catapults all did very well. 148, 118, only 25 here, but still able to stick around. 79 and 25 with 2 XP chevrons on the Warp Lightning Cannon. Not bad at all. Likewise, the Death Runners did rack up quite a few kills as well. Even Clan Rats. I mean, Clan Rats with 84 kills, that's nothing to sneeze at. 79 on these guys, 41 here. Not bad at all. As far as the Vampire Coast goes, obviously the Mournguls were able to clean up some good kills, but the ranged units just really didn't pay out, and likewise the Syrenes also really didn't pay out. So in terms of this matchup, I would definitely say you could probably cut, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of the Night Terrors. I think you could probably just cheap out and go with the regular Mournguls, but yeah, honestly, it's a matchup that I would definitely say is in the Vampire Coast's favor, just because of the mechanics. Map-wide, army-wide, I should say, they have Fear. So, you know, even your low-tier zombies are going to cause fear to your Skaven opponent, but just, you know, kind of thinking about things a little bit here, you could actually take, because Skrulk is going to be pretty much the auto-pick in every single matchup, the Harkon might not be a bad idea here to help disrupt Skrulk. Just take him on foot. There's no real need to take him on the Terrorgeist. I guess you could if you wanted to, but you might just be opening up yourself up for more hits. Doesn't give him a bigger hitbox, so I might grab that Slon Gold to debuff Skrulk's power recharge rate, and then, yeah, we'll hang on to the other abilities as well. They're all quite useful. We're going to also grab, obviously, Fleet Captain Lore of Vampires. Definitely very essential to have that Drown Dead, Invocation of Nehek, and Dance Kebab. Probably put her up on the Crab, just for now. We might come back and change that if we need. Morngul Haunter, I usually cut both abilities off him, make him nice and cheap, but definitely good in this matchup. Gives you that Vanguard, Fear and Terror, Stalk, Regeneration, just a very powerful unit overall. Then we're going to tank up on some zombies here. We'll only grab a couple of polearms because typically Skaven tend not to bring too many large units. Yeah, so we'll maybe just stay with the two polearms for now. And then in order to counter skirmish, Skaven artillery, I might bring a couple of carronades. They can also shoot at, you know, rat ogres, hell pit abominations, or just generally at Skaven infantry to try and contest the artillery game a little bit. And then from there, maybe tank up on some zombie pistols, and that does leave us enough for 2 units of regular Morngul's. Where are they? Here they are. So yeah, something like this I think might be pretty solid. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, but Vampire Coast, like I said, there's a multitude of builds that would work against the Skaven. This is kind of just something I threw together, but just thinking about, okay, Lord Skrulk is very likely going to be the key here, or if not, I can at least use Harkon's abilities to debuff whatever caster they bring, try and keep so many summons from happening so quickly. Lower Vampires, obviously, and then you have your meaty Infantry Corps with a few key damage dealers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.